Alright, pack one, pick one Fawnsbane Troll. Really easy way to start the draft off. Both of these colors can play grindier, mid-rangier decks that can definitely support running some mana fixing and some slower splashes. So even if we don't end up with green-black at the core, we can splash this thing in and just play it really late in the game. So it's a really open first pick as well. We just need to be one of these two colors. Ideally both, but we can still play it off one of the two. I'm doing alright, Absenta. We're having a chill stream today, short stream today, so I didn't set up the green screen and the light and everything, so I'm just gonna go no face cam. We don't have a great follow-up for the Fawnsbane Troll here. We could take an Ice Out or an Into the Fey Court, going blue-green or blue-black, splashing in the other half of the card. That could technically end up in the same deck as the Troll, but I think I'd rather just take a more powerful card, and I think the best card in the pack is just the Ratcatcher Trainee for aggro decks, giving you a really wide board state off the one spell, while also giving you a good 2-drop on curve if you don't have anything else there. So, doesn't really go with our first pick, but I think it is strong enough to scoop it up regardless. Now, a Hamlet Glutton certainly goes with our Fawnsbane Troll, so I think I'm going to slam dunk that. Spellscorn Coven's a really nice 2-for-1 value play. Sweet Tooth Witch is a great token producer, triggering Celebration and Bargain and all that stuff. All three of these are really good cards. Tanglespan Lookout's a really fun build around, but I'm just going to go for that Hamlet Glutton. Great, great, great stabilizer. Pick 4, we see no green common left. No green cards at all. And that's a bit rough. The Fell Horseman is alright when you have a really powerful card like Fawnsbane Troll to try to pick up from your graveyard, but it's not exciting. Although, to be fair, not much in this pack is, the best cards being a Johann Stopgap and a Flick a Coin that are just solid. I think they're enough better than the Horseman to still speculate in their direction, though, and we'll take the Flick a Coin over the Stopgap since we do already have one red card. Coin greater than Crescendo? Easily. Crescendo's a card I only really want one copy of in my decks, and I don't want them unless I am super heavy into like rat production for a really wide board state. Just because drawing multiples is really, really awkward. When you have like multiple Crescendos, that means you're drawing less creatures for the game, and they don't stack together super well. Unless you've drawn a lot of creatures alongside 2 copies of them. For pick 5, I like the Fairy Dream Thief a lot. It's just a really nice 1-drop that gives you a lot of value, setting up your deck and drawing you another card from the grave later. It also goes into black-green with the Troll and the Glutton. Collector's Vault is also nice for splashing in the Troll. Food Fight's a fun build around, but I'm going to go for the Dream Thief here. Pick 6, some solid red cards, not much else. Spell Stutter being a solid blue spell, but we're not even a single card deep into blue yet. I think I'd rather just grab a Grabby Giant. Nice little treasure token with a card draw engine for late game when we're flooding out. Pick 7, Tempting Apple's a solid finisher for aggressive strategies, and Feed the Cauldron is decent cheap removal for any black deck. Particularly good in more defensive decks that can utilize that food token well. I actually think Feed the Cauldron could be great in our black-green build if we get to go in that direction. Apple is a great finisher, but I'm going to take the Feed the Cauldron. I don't think we're going full Jund, although it is technically possible. It's probably red-black or green-black here. That's a pick 8 Stockpiling Celebrant, which has a lot of great synergies in this set. All of the hopeful and hopeless enchantments that enter the battlefield and do something immediately. Great cards with Celebrant. We don't have any synergies for it yet. Technically I could pick up a Troll, but that is a very, very narrow situation. I think I'm just taking a Werefox. Crescendo would be fine if we end up more aggressive, but I'm going to take the Werefox. It works really well with the Troll because it gives us another roll token to fight with it again. And it's a solid value play in the first place. Pick 9 does not have a lot. This is best 2 out of 3 draft that we're practicing, because that is what the Arena Open Day 2 is going to be, so we can take Spider Food for the sideboard. I think Merry Bards and Battle Garb are fine cards if we commit to a more aggressive deck, but I really would like to end up in green here, ideally, if possible. Get this troll really going. So Witch's Mark is the only playable. Now we could take a Scarecrow Guide for some random fixing no matter what colors we end up in, since I already have 1 Spider Food in that sideboard now. It's not great fixing, but it would work out. Now we have a Crescendo. We end up in the aggro builds. I guess I could just give up on my mana base and play full Jund. Just run like 6 of each land. 6/6/5. Ooh. Pack 2, pick 1 shows us an Imidane's Recruiter, a Devouring Sugarmaw, 2 incredibly powerful cards, both of which are pretty specific in what kind of deck we want to play them with. Take that Recruiter and start heading into just red aggro here. We got Crescendo super late, we got a Witch's Mark super late. We've got a Scarecrow Guide, a Grabby Giant, and a Flick a Coin to find a random white source to train troops with the Imidane's Recruiter. I think I actually prefer taking the Recruiter here at this rate. Now taking a cut in, heading into red aggro. Sadly, for the Fawnsbane Troll Dream. Probably take cut in here, but the Twisted Fealty is a great finisher, and the Sentinel of Lost Lore is just a nice beefy green creature if we try to go green-red as the color pair. I think I just want to commit to red here, not quite jump on the second color. Don't lock that in immediately. Well, High-Fan Negotiator is a very nice card. Can have that at the top of our curve in a black-red aggro build. Certainly take that over a second Crescendo here. Could take a takedown towards green-red. I think Negotiator's better though. Now a Harried Spearguard or an Edgewall pack. Or a Taken by Nightmares. Taken by Nightmares kind of a bit of an expensive removal spell for a really aggressive deck. But instant speed plus exile is a pretty big deal. The Scry is not going to be very consistent, but I think we do take Taken. I'm not super heavy on removal right now. Another Taken by Nightmares. It's definitely better than Spear Guard. Take that. Candy Grapple? Good grief. Okay. Don't even need to see the rest of that pack. Now I'm sad to have taken a Taken over the Edgewall pack, because the problem is you can't load up on this much 4-mana removal. So when we find removal like Candy Grapple that we can run over it, like we might end up cutting like a second Taken if I end up with like 2 Candy Grapples or a Grapple and a Torch by the end, but I don't think we would cut an Edgewall pack. These cards are not good in red or green here. Already got 1 Witch's Mark, I don't really want to play 2. Pretty low on just aggressive red creatures, which is a big issue. This is a really bad Crescendo deck right now. actually going to take a Grim Search. Another Beanstalk Worm. Archon's Glory is the best card, but we're really unlikely to be playing white as a core color. It's possible we go red-green. Not very likely, but possible. This is the draft pot of just 20 copies of Gnawing Crescendo that we cannot use well. We need to find a bunch of creatures, basically. Well, now we have two major reasons to splash a little bit of green. This card is sick. Removal plus a 5/5 with a food later. Scoop that thing up over the Battle Mouse. Probably looks like this. And we just take nothing but creatures for the rest of this pack, ideally. There we go. Aggressive 2-mana creature that can give us a treasure token for the splash. Seems ideal. Also a rare for the collection. Minecart Daredevil fits in at 3 mana. I would love to take a Fealty or a Cut-In, but we can't really do that with 11 creatures in our aggro deck.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Wednesday, so it's a gimlet.
How's it going, Lollipop? Thank you very much for the Prime subscription, the 9th subscription. Thank you so much for all of the support, Lollipop. Alright, well now the only creature is Gingerbrute, which is not that good, so I can actually take a Cut-In or a Monstrous Rage. I'm actually going to take a Monstrous Rage with 3 4-mana removal spells in this deck already. Easy Edgewall pack. Feed the Cauldron's good, but we've got lots of removal and few solid creatures. Ooh. Take Lord Skitter's Butcher here. We are finding all the options we need in this final pack, and it's working out well. Multiple solid options for creatures to add to this deck. Now we just get a 2-mana 2/2, which is fine. It's adding to the creature count. We get to cut the Grim Search here. Probably still not a Crescendo deck at 15 creatures and very, very little rat production. We cut Crescendo. This is our 17 land build, and I think we're on 17 lands. We've got a lot of 4 and 5 drops for an aggro deck. Sweet Tooth Witch or Voracious Vermin. There's a Flick a Coin too, but we're still looking for creatures. I think it's Vermin. Don't have a lot of ways to use food, but we've got some decent ways to use rats. Get a Merry Bards in here. At 4 mana, basically. That might get cut. Redcap Thief will certainly not get cut. Yeah, I'll cut a Merry Bards for a Redcap Thief even, and we get a Twisted Fealty. Worst case scenario, it's a sideboard option. Okay, pack 3 really helped quite a lot, and now our deck looks pretty reasonable. We had a solid chance of things just falling apart after pack 2, where we were just a pile of Jund cards with a really low creature count, but we found some premium stuff in our final pack, and we've got a very reasonable deck to wrap up this draft with. When's the new release? Kind of done with the current set, although it was one of the better in the last year. It is very, very soon. It is basically 2 weeks and 1 day till the early access event. 2.5 weeks till the full launch on Arena. Which is pretty sweet. I have another Flicka coin up here? Oh no, that's the Flicka coin that's in the deck. It's just the... Oh my god. Oh my god. They finally did the thing. You can favorite your specific card style. I can start collecting Parallax card styles again because I can turn them off. Forever. I can favorite the non-card styled card. Oh my god. Well, this is incredible. This is great news. I can be like, do I want the style on? Or do I want to favorite the non-styled version? Let's go. I can actually buy a mastery pass again. Without having a bunch of parallax styles everywhere, because I can just keep turning them off and then keep them off. If it works right. That's sweet. Is there anything on my sideboard that comes back into the deck? No. Okay. We have 17 creatures, 9 non-creatures. Don't want to cut any lands with the curve getting this high. I ideally don't really want to cut creatures either. I think I'd rather try to fealty their big creature than taken it every time. So I'm going to drop 1 Taken by Nightmares. I still have Cut In, Taken by Nightmares, Fealty, Feed the Cauldron, Candy Grapple, Fawn's Bane Troll, and Gingerbread Hunter. That is a lot of removal. We probably drop Feed the Cauldron too at that point. Just jamming out creatures turn 3 and using better removal spells. Generally. 1 final cut. I could cut like my most mediocre creature, which might be Bruiser at the very top. Arena wants 3 forests in this deck? I don't know about that. I think I still want Witcher's Mark in this deck. It's hard to cut any other non-creature is the problem. And for quantity of creatures versus non-creatures, it would be ideal to cut a non-creature here. But I really like some card draw in a deck that does have some bomb power like Fawn's Bane Troll. But I suppose we still have cantrips. We have Flick a Coin drawing us a card. We have Lord Skitter's Butcher that can scry and draw 1 card. We still have 2 cantrip pieces of card draw. Which is still pretty dang low. I guess Grabby Giant, if we flood out. Yeah, it's between the 2 for sure. I think I'm gonna just drop the Bruiser. Keep the mark in. And 13 red cards, 8 black, 2 green. I've got a double black High Fae Negotiator and a double black Taken by Nightmares. Even though I have less black cards than red, that makes red-black want to be pretty even. But if I had to choose one of the 2 colors to get an additional land, I'd choose red here. Cut a forest for another red source. The reason I'd choose red is red gives us Charming Scoundrel, Redcap Thief, and Flick a Coin, but black does not give us any fixing. The other way around. I think 287 looks reasonable. Might even be able to drop to 1 forest. honestly, and just fully rely on treasures and Scarecrow Guide, but that is sketchy for the Fawnsbane Troll. It's not really sketchy for the Gingerbread Hunter, because if I don't hit the green source, I'm still using it. If I don't hit the green for Troll, I'm not using it at all. I think we only have 3 treasures. Oh, we have 4. We've got Grabby Giant as well. Maybe that is enough? 4 and a Scarecrow Guide. Wouldn't count that as 5 additional green sources, because obviously there will be many times I need to sack a treasure just to curve out better or to hit a second black. But if we count each of these as like half a green source, and the guide is a full green source, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 green sources, even if I cut a forest. It's probably okay. Yeah, let's do it. Do 881 here. All right. We're just gonna name the deck appropriately because my mind is definitely on current set. Have you all been checking out the spoilers at all? If there's any spoilers you wanted to talk about while I am streaming today, I am super down because the set looks really fun. My favorite cards spoiled so far are the 2 blue commons that are flying creatures that create a map token when they hit the board. I think both of those cards are great, and they're going to be some of the best blue commons in the set. This is just what it feels like to be primarily a drafter. Everyone's excited about all these rares and mythics and stuff, and I'm like, have you seen these little blue commons? These cards are nuts. Didn't have time to look at any of the spoilers yet. Oh, it looks great. Some of the mechanics they're putting in the set. So the map tokens are these little clue-style, food-style tokens that you can spend 1 mana and sacrifice to have target creature you control explore. And the explore mechanic means that creature lets you look at the top card of your library. Well, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you can put it back on top or into your graveyard and then put a +1/+1 counter on the creature. So Explore is this little surveil style, card draw style value effect. And you can do that off of these little map tokens now that you can produce with your creatures. So there's like a 1 mana 1/1 flyer that makes a map token when it hits the board. And I think that card's just going to be great. Right? Because if you just play it early game, whenever you have just 1 extra mana in the middle of your curve, you draw another card or you turn it into a 2/2 flyer and surveil one. Right? Like, that's great early, and it's not that bad of a top deck late, because it gets you out of a little bit of flood by drawing you that land, or just letting you surveil. So I think that card's going to be great, and there's a 3 mana 2/2 flyer that does the same thing. Just a 3 mana 2/2 flyer, when it hits the board, get a map token. Just cheap little Explore cards looking awesome. I want to just jam out Gingerbread Hunter here. Could see an argument. Also, I could just train troops. Yeah, I don't need to deal with this Armory Mouse. And I've got 2 other ways to get a treasure token to cast the Gingerbread Hunter later too, so just train it up. The value this game's going to be absurd. We got our opponent to use to torch the tower on 1/3 of our Imidane's recruiters, so that's pretty good. If they can't trigger Celebration at instant speed, then we might get a full 3-for-1 from Imidane's recruiter, which would be nuts. And they can't? So our train troops has traded for 2 full cards from our opponent. And we still have their recruiter just chilling. I don't really want to cut in on this immediately. I could play a 4-3 against a 2-1. The stat lines match up well. I could also just play Red Cap Thief to guarantee a 5th mana to play Gingerbread Hunter next turn. I think I'm just gonna play the Giant though. Because if I hit a 5th land, then I can double spell, and that'll be very good. Yeah, Lost Caverns of Ixalan's looking real strong. Obviously, all of the rares and mythics they've revealed so far are insanity, but the commons look pretty equivalently pushed. Alright, well now I'll just cut in a 2-1 Viper. Not be that unhappy with it. Aw, 1 turn late, flick a coin. Fashionably late. As always, my friend. 17 life, I can afford to take 4 damage so that when I do cut in the Viper, I actually get a young hero roll onto somebody. So let's get any creature on the board to put a roll onto. Let's just do the Thief. Oh yeah, the Discover mechanic is insane. They basically brought Cascade back. I can also just have 5 toughness up, honestly. So if they don't have a trick, they can't even attack in here. They do have a trick, but it gets rid of the young hero roll. They're down to 1 card now. We still got 5 over here. Seems good. Accrue extra value like the greedy man that I am. Since we waited on our cut-in, we get our young hero roll. Turn our 1-1 into a 4-4. Over time. If they don't have, what, a 3rd Torch Tower? Looks like a great flick a coin. See what we draw here. Ooh, the natural forest, so we don't even have to spend a treasure on the Gingerbread Hunter or get a Scarecrow Guide on board? Sure. This is gonna be gross. Hey, thanks for the follow, Matt. Yeah, that is my biggest complaint about the set as well so far, Mr. Rental. That set symbol on Lost Caverns of Ixalan, it is hard to see what the rarity is, because there's just not a lot of space for the color. A lot of the space is taken up by the lines. I'm just gonna hold the food up rather than get a Scarecrow Guide. They're already astronomically done on board. Well, I am glad I held the food up, because that's threatening 7 damage now. That's actually threatening exact lethal. I guess if I played the Scarecrow Guide, I would have a chump blocker, so either way we would survive. I gotta do this pre-damage. If I do it post-damage, they respond to my food with their apple to shoot me for 3. So they sack this for the final 3. Green deck's getting an actual legit 1-drop is interesting. Yeah, that card seems great. A 1-mana 1/1 that explores. Pretty nuts. Ooh. This is best out of 3. I'm not gonna reveal additional information when I already have lethal on board. Probably Doesn't really matter if they know if I have a High Fey Negotiator or not, but might as well just hit. Yeah, 1 mana 2/2 that surveils is nuts. Yeah, either half of that card, whichever way it plays, is going to be great. A 1 mana 1/1 that draws a card off the top, draws you a land, or a 1 mana 2/2 that surveils. Like, those are both exceptionally good deals, and that thing's common, right? I don't really know because the set symbol's so whack, but I think it was common. I don't hate... Oh, it was uncommon? Alright. I don't hate Feed the Cauldron in this matchup. They're really aggressive and all their creatures die to it, and we can get a food out of it. We're going to be on the draw as well. Maybe getting more food, clearing out small creatures is helpful. Maybe play that over Fealty. Their creatures are all pretty small. We can just kill them with regular removal rather than stealing a 2/1 off of Fealty to try to end the game. Yeah, we did not see any good Fealty targets. Let's run the Feed the Cauldron over it. Thanks for the follow, Karasku. Or Karasku. I think that's all I really super want to change here. First card that made you realize that the difference between the symbols was the bat thing? Oh, you thought that the Bat Lord was a common? Or is it a different card that I haven't seen yet? I've only seen the Bat God or whatever. The 5 mana one. Hey, thanks. Welcome to the Twitch. Glad you are enjoying the YouTube videos. And I'll definitely be keeping them up. We're hoping to get a lot of mileage out of our Flick a Coin here. Hopefully they play another 2 mana 3/1. Actually, I mean, we'll take a big hit from it, but we'll be able to kill it easily the turn after this. Okay, so we're gonna Flick a Ratcatcher Trainee. I don't have any double red spells, so I'm gonna discard a mountain here. But yeah, next turn we're gonna Flick a Ratcatcher Trainee. Alright, cool. Find a Taken by Nightmares. If we were on the play, we'd be in a super good position here. But obviously this is best of 3, they get to choose to be on the play here. On the draw, I am not super confident in our position, but missing a land drop means now I think I am pretty golden. Right? I've even drawn into a troll to play off of the treasure token. Yeah, missing a land drop's gonna be really bad for our opponent. That is quite unfortunate for them. Unless they have a trick for this trainee. I didn't see any in their deck yet. Okay. Glory's not actually that bad for us because we're still trading our Flick a Coin into one of their cards. It would only be bad for us if it was one of the cards that put a roll onto it at instant speed. So they could keep like a permanent buff on the trainee while doing that. That is a fine scenario. And now we get to stabilize pretty dang hard. They don't kill the troll, then I don't care about their young hero roll, so we just kill the biggest card. And even if they do kill the troll, then I cut in or exile whatever has the young hero roll on it. Wait, did it exile their creature? Oh my god, I didn't even know that. The Fawnsbane Troll exiles the creature that it fights? That's so gross. Didn't even let the young, or the protective parents get the young hero roll onto the board. So gross. He does eat it, that does make sense. Alright, so now they're threatening a lot of damage off the Princess Takes Flight. If I can prolong this game, I can just straight win. So what is the absolute best way to prolong things? I could play a High Fey Negotiator, so if they don't have a removal spell for the Negotiator, I can just block whatever they give flying. but I could also just wait and then use Taken by Nightmares on whatever they target with the Princess Takes Flight. Red-white here, they need like Cooped Up to clear out a Negotiator. I think I'm just gonna play the Negotiator. But none of their red removal should work here. At least it won't work pre-combat. Like, I could block the trainee and then they could also torch the Tower Negotiator, which is fine because I still stop the damage for the turn, which is the most important part here. Even if they get their Torch the Tower to trade up. Please no Cooped Up. Second, Princess Takes Flight would be bad too. Ooh, my lord. Alright, the Celebrant Princess Takes Flight combo is egregiously bad. Now we will not get our Troll back, and they will be able to exile our Negotiator as well. Ooh, they did not think I was going to take that bluff. They were threatening Torch the Tower, and I was like, I don't really care, I'm at 9 life here. You can Torch the Tower up into my Negotiator if you have it. Well, that was good for us. That was a bluff. So now they're going to take flight on the Negotiator. We need to find other good blockers on the ground. I can just play a couple 2/3s, I guess. Red Cap Thief and a Butcher. Or I can play the Red Cap Thief and hold up the 4 mana Taken by Nightmares at instant speed. Definitely playing Thief. I don't think I need to hold up Taken by Nightmares here. I want to play Vermin, so I'm setting up for Butcher. And then since they're exiling Negotiator anyway, let's hit them with it here. If Negotiator being tapped gets them to exile one of these two, I think that's just a good deal, unless they insta-lethal me. Which would be pretty difficult. They'd have to have Princess Takes Flight and Torch the Tower and like a 1 mana spell that deals 5 more damage to me. Oh my god, they got the Cooped Up too! The Cooped Up as well! At least I can sacrifice that to my Lord Skitter's Butcher now, since they don't have the mana to exile it to the Cooped Up. So I can keep my rat token around. Taking these trades all day. Okay, clear out all my blockers. There's a weird board wipe in Ixalan. Cool. I think I'm drawing into Spear Guard right now. Grabby Giant's a big one. Nine life, 2 blockers. I don't need to hold up Taken here. Let's get this out. Do we get the Princess Takes Flight out of here? Just throw it at the Grabby Giant past turn? Looks like we do. So no attacks for the turn. Butcher still blocks. Beautiful. Can hit for 3 and take 1 on the crackback. With a Candy Grapple and a Taken by Nightmares to hold up here, do I just cut in? They've only got 2 cards in hand. I kind of feel like I cut in. Could definitely be wrong. But now we hit for 4 this turn, then 5 next turn, then 6. Stacks up quick. Yeah, the question isn't like, do I cast Cut In over the other two? It's, do I cast it or cast nothing right now? Because I think there's a fine argument for just keeping all the removal. I like scrying quite a bit here, and we saw nothing from our opponent that's more than 5 toughness, so Candy Grapple theoretically kills everything in their deck. So I'm going to scry 2 here. Thanks to our young hero roll. Ditch those 2 lands. Oh yeah, baby, that's a good one. Can do both of these. Yeah, we just pass. Ooh, and we actually got our Grabby Giant back? That's probably game. Daubers. Dead on board. Boop. And we start this draft off 1-0. Victory in round 1. The new board wipe, Lost Caverns of Ixalan, is 3 white for an artifact that enters the battlefield and each player chooses a power 2 or less creature they control and destroys the rest. That is interesting. That's a funky one. Oh yeah, I don't love the craft mechanic. It's going to be a little confusing to get used to. I mean, I guess after you've used the craft mechanic a couple times, it'll be pretty self-explanatory, but that's been like the hardest one to kind of like figure out what exactly they mean with it. It's like, yeah, you exile an artifact from your grave or your board to flip it into the backside. Yeah, that is an interesting board wipe. Is that one a mythic, Mr. Rental? Just a rare? Well, while we're waiting for rounds, let me see if I can get a browser source up here. Browser source, let's go Mythic Spoiler, because they're faster than Scryfall. I like Scryfall better, they're a lot higher quality, but Mythic Spoiler is like, those are the speed people over there. Oh, I think I got a draw. I think I got a draw in this round. I certainly did. Thanks, Arena. Very cool. Okay, let me move the browser source underneath the chat and the alerts, and then make it a little smaller so we can see the game. Cool. Now we can look at spoilers in between games. If I have time. Oh, there's no scroll bar on the browser source, so I can only look at the mythics. Thanks, OBS. Alright, well, we got into a game. I'll figure it out. We'll find a better way to do that. I'll have to just open a separate window and open it as a window capture instead of doing the in OBS browser. Alright, let's get on the play here. Let's be a little sad about not having a red source, but maybe still keep. I mean, it's a 4-lander that wants to draw more lands, which is not really what you want. Right, a 4-lander that is asking to draw a 5th land, specifically a mountain. It's got the grapple and the vermin. It's got the turn 2, turn 3. But that's really just a turn 3 play, because we don't really want to grapple most 1 or 2 mana cards. Yeah, I'll take the mulligan here. Well, this is worse. Actually, I don't know if this is worse. This is just as bad, I'll say that much. It is another mulligan. Oh, baby. Woo! Go to 4. That's a snap keep right there. I'm not going to 4. It'll go perfectly, just you watch. When I know I don't have any action coming, I'm just going to slow them down and make sure they don't drop 4 drops on us next turn. So this hand has officially worked as well as any multi-4 was going to do. Just pretend we mulligan to 4 into land, candy grapple, edgewall pack. That's basically what we did here. They're stuck on 2 mana. That candy grapple on Root Rider Fawn actually did some work here. Even after the Prophetic Prism, they didn't find a 3rd land. If they want to trade a Tough Cookie into an Edgewall pack, I'm pretty cool with it. Does look like we are quite likely losing this game for card advantage reasons. Again, just mulliganing a few times. Mulliganed a few times and they're stuck on 2 lands, which means all of these are spells. So we're really far behind in terms of spells that we are able to cast. Okay, I was going to say, if they didn't draw land off of another draw 2, I was going to lose my mind. That would be insanity. Keeping this land, we have a discard a card, draw 2 spell in this deck. We actually have 2 of them. We have one that's discard a card, draw 2, and another that's discard 1 card and draw 1. I guess since we have 2 of them, we can just hold these now. Just the big Hamlet Glutton. Okay, so they are a big stuff deck over there. To the point they're even playing the Skybeast tracker to trigger off of 5 drops. Threatening exact lethal here. See if they cast any more spells. We can learn a little more for sideboarding. Nope. Just go for the onboard lethal. Fair enough. Alright. Not too much of a game, round 1, but we can hopefully turn that around these next couple games. So we want removal for big stuff. I mean, there's still small stuff like a Tough Cookie to kill. Nothing was small enough for a flick a coin to kill, but I do still like the treasure it provides potentially. But I'm definitely playing the second copy of Taken by Nightmares in this matchup. I don't hate the Feed the Cauldron here. It can kill Tough Cookies, Root Rider Fawns, Troublemakers. I don't love it here either, though. Still put it over here in this pile to consider. We are going to be on the play this next game, which is nice, since we lost. I definitely like the fealty here, so I love fealty. I think Cuttin's still good. The double taken's great. Candy Grapple's great. Rage is still great. I think I am dropping a flick a coin. Don't really want to cut any 1 or 2 drops just in the interest of keeping a nice aggressive curve. Honestly, don't really want to drop creatures, period. So maybe we aren't throwing a Feed the Cauldron in. Yeah, just swap a flick a coin for a Taken by Nightmares. It's a reasonable way to do it. And hopefully just get to start game 2 out with a 7-card hand. Your other favorite thing from the set is the Orzhov Signpost being a sack outlet. Oh yeah. It is not a perfect opener by a lot, but we can at least cast 3 of the cards on curve. Try to jam in for damage while our opponent is still setting up. That is not a good draw. Alright, have a good one, Lollipop. Thanks very much for hanging out in the Prime sub and everything. Hope you have a good one. Don't tell me you have... Oh my god. They probably just kept 5 lands, 2 Beanstalk Worms. They just get to have 5 mana out on their turn 3. Jesus. I mean, bouncing the Red Cap Thief is actually kind of nice for us. Because of our mana situation. I guess it's not that nice. It's just not horrible for us. Wow, they had the double Beanstalk Worm 6 land hand. That's good stuff. I would love to train troops, but that would cost the treasure that I need to take this Gatekeeper by Nightmares. I might even go Red Cap Thief, Taken by Nightmares, Gatekeeper. Next turn they tap out for a 5-drop creature, then I play Vermin Recruiter and just kill them. Right, because we know they have 2 5-drops, so they probably just drop a 5-mana creature next turn. This way I hit them to 10, they play 1 blocker to block Grabby Giant next turn, and then I just have too many attackers. If I top deck a land, I guess I can play both. If I don't top deck a land, then they block that, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they go to 1. So if they play 1 blocker here, they go to 1 if I don't draw land, and they die if I do. Oh, that looks like 2 blockers to me. If they're going to play a 4-drop over a 5-drop here. Or they just want to get all the +1/+1 counters they can. Yeah, they're going to get all the counters they can. I didn't hit the land to lethal them, but I can put them to 1. Fawnsbane Troll gets a monster roll. Not a wicked roll. So now we know exactly what their hand is. So they're going to play an Otter and a Beanstalk Worm. They're going to play 2 more blockers. They'll have 3 blockers up next turn. So I could attack with these 3 and put them to 6. Or I can Recruiter and attack with everybody. Put them to 1. But if I put them to 1, I have 3 attackers left against 3 blockers next turn, but then I play the Troll and fight the Elusive Otter to win. I think that's the best route, because it's a guaranteed plan for these next 2 turns, no matter what I draw. We go put them to 1, then they have 3 blockers total, and I Fawnsbane Troll the 1/1 blocker and kill them. Unless they top deck something. Something cheap and large. Alright. I guess I could also Fawnsbane Troll the Beanstalk Worm, because it doesn't matter if the troll dies. As long as we kill a blocker. Awesome. There's the concession. Close game. 1-1 now, heading into game 3 of this round. They are going to be on the play this time, which is an issue. Again, lots of 5/4s and 3/4s and stuff. I like our cut in or taken by nightmares. Love our Twisted Fealty. Pretty sure we've made the changes to our deck that we should be making here. Alright. Yeah, maybe a Bellowing Bruiser is actually legit against all this big nonsense. Have to trade it out for like a Witch's Mark. Yeah, they ramp into big stuff really quick. I don't think I want to be spending time on card draw here, so let's go the Bellowing Bruiser over the card draw spell. We gotta just try to outpace them. Well. It's gonna have to do it. I actually think Gingerbread Hunter doesn't kill a lot of their creatures. So do I put that on the bottom here? Or do I keep it for a 5/5 for later at worst? I really like Vermin into Lord Skitter's Butcher. I can't really get rid of a land here. I think I have to get rid of Gingerbread or Vermin. I'm gonna get rid of Gingerbread. We just didn't actually see that many targets for the Puny Snack. Without getting into combat and trying to use it as a trick. Ooh, we get to curve out. Thank you very much, Dream Thief. I guess we didn't need Dream Thief to have Charming Scoundrel on top, but makes us feel safer about it. We just go full damage here. We get that Wicked roll. Onto the Flyer, because it's harder to block. Feed the cauldron to blow it up, at least the wicked roll shoots them. Play a voracious vermin now. Butcher next turn, sacking the rat. Probably. Alright, 3/4 Tempest Heart. Can't get in for damage unless I use Butcher to give the whole board Menace, but then I'm cashing in Butcher just for 4 damage. Feels better to use Butcher on the Scry 2, draw 1. Looking for fealties and removal spells for big creatures. I think I do it. Ooh. Find an Imidane's Recruiter. 5 mana. Next turn I play Visitor and Recruiter. Jam out with a bunch of haste. Tough Cookie with the 3 mana up to turn a food into a 4/4. Tap out of that 3 mana to Witch's Vanity my 1/1. I'm actually very happy with that. Oh my, that is a draw. Oh, that is a draw. This Tough Cookie, sorry for the squeaky chair, this Tough Cookie's gonna have 3 food tokens to play with if I don't just kill it here. But I want to kill the Tempest Heart so I can get in with the vermin. I think it still has gotta be just kill the Tough Cookie when they're gonna have 3 food tokens. Trade vermin into the Tempest Heart. Actually seems fine. Because if they play another big blocker next turn, they're also making the Tempest Heart a 4/5. Yes, they don't even block, so we just get 4 damage for free. Huntsman's Redemption, get a 3/3. Sack that creature to grab any creature from their deck later. If they want to do that. Elusive Otter to buff the Tempest Heart. Five, 6. Make everyone else big enough to at least trade into a 3/3, so I think we're just jamming and one of our attackers is a chump attack, but it's fine. Because everybody else trades or damages here. This is 9 damage minimum. Okay. They have 1 blocker and maybe an Elusive Otter. So 2 blockers. They definitely don't sack the Tempest Heart here. To their Saga. Alright, they have 1 important blocker and a 1/1, but they have 5 mana, which is enough to eat 2 food tokens to gain a pretty significant amount of life here. They're basically at 8 life. No, not like this. So If I attack with everybody, I'm trading my 2/3 down into their 1/1 and chipping in for 2. It isn't ideal, but I don't actually hate that. Trade 1 creature down into the otter. I guess they could just not block with the otter and take 4, gain a chunk, but I imagine they block here. Okay, yep, there's the block. Oh, wow. Their last card was top decked interaction. Brutal. Yeah, this is Aerith's theme from Final Fantasy VII. That's not a bad draw. I guess there was not a massive point in making a treasure here, was there? Because now I'm just going to sack the treasure to draw a card during their end step. Sacking a land. If I didn't make the treasure, then I would just, spend 4 on this and then 3 to sack a land, draw a card. It does look cooler to do this, that's true. I guess if I top deck a Twisted Fealty, I still just kill them. That's the biggest out. It's not insta-lethal, I need to draw something else alongside it, but it's like our biggest draw. Those are not big draws at all. Arena. Okay. I'm at 4 life. I have to trade Grabby Giant into Attendance and just exile the Tempest Heart. Which means we're in a top deck war against a deck with a bunch of 5 and 6 drops. It's just not ideal. I think I have to exile this right now. If they don't attack with Attendance, that's incredibly good for me. So, yeah, I was going to say they're just going to trade immediately, so I don't have a card draw engine anymore. Alright. Your first draw is Skybeast Tracker. Are there more lands in there? God dang it. To 1 life we go. Wow. Well, we lost that war pretty bad. We played against the green-blue ramp deck that wants like a ton of mana and still hit like 5 more lands than them. With our aggro deck. And that's gonna get you. 1-1 heading into round 3. Most annoying deck of the daytime. Let's go, baby. Blue-black hard control with multiple counters. Ooh, we tapped them out of that. I'm just gonna resolve these things. We hope they tap out for the Coven and we cut in and go to town. That is too big for a cut-in. -2/-2, it's a 1/3. So I can still get in with Daredevil, and then they are tapped out and I do whatever I want after that. I guess I can get in with both. If they block the Spear Guard, I can post-combat cut-in. If they block the Daredevil, I can just Puny Snack. You're excited for the Quintorius Planeswalker? Looks like a shoo-in for the Rocco deck. Oh yeah, the Quintorius seems sweet. Card's gonna be busted in draft. Way better than Ashiok this time around. It's also gonna be a really fun build around for Constructed. I like how they've been designing the Planeswalkers lately. The 1 per set, but with like really cool mechanics to build around. Rat hero to the rescue. My swamp. No. Rat hero to the rescue. I'm cool either way, opponent. All right. I hate the auto tapper so damn much. Yes, let's tap out of all my red mana with only red spells. Thank you. I appreciate that. If Auto Tapper didn't just beat me up and take my lunch money, I would have had my treasure for this troll now, because that's what was going to be my play. At least the hero rat still gets in. Yeah, this playlist is good. I just looked up a random, it's called Relaxing and Nostalgic Video Game Music on YouTube. Just looked up a long video with a bunch of video game music. Hey, Skyrim's getting old. We're all getting old. Obviously, the rat gets grappled. Time to troll my opponent. Last card, not a counterspell. Last card, not a counterspell. It ain't. Poke for 2. My rat has died to the witch's vanity. No hasters here. We jam for 5. Just grabby giant. We're gonna play an epic prank on our opponent here. Do they have a Rankles prank? Oh, I trolled them. True. Fawn's Bane troll. We do a little bit of trolling. I mean, they're dead on board. And try to make them super duper dead. Okay, cool. I was gonna say with that we can just fight their one blocker and have mega lethal. Okay, so blue-black control, some fairies. Honestly, everything played out pretty well. I don't even know if I messed with perfection, but this feels like another round. Twisted Fealty's not that important. It might be better to just have hard removal like Taken by Nightmares over it. Second copy of that. Did not see any Flick a Coin targets, so that's another thing. I guess I'll just run another Taken by Nightmares over Flick a Coin. Keep the Fealty in here. Maybe we get really lucky and steal a big 3/4 flyer or 3/5 flyer. Get a bunch of damage in that way. Clearing out a blocker and hitting them with it at the same time. My god, speaking of spoilers and this music, are any of you excited about the Fallout Commander decks? I personally love Universes Beyond. I really like the idea. Part of what I love about Draft is having completely different lore and theming in every different set. And I like that Universes Beyond obviously just does completely different IPs lore and theming every time. And this music just reminded me because it's the Fallout 4 Commonwealth music. I was like, I am very excited for the Fallout Universes Beyond cards. Those are going to be the first commander decks that I'm going to buy one in, like, since Ikoria? I think I got the X mana spell Ikoria commander deck. So I'm super excited for the Fallout decks. The Fallout decks they do exist. I'm gonna do this while they're tapped out. I don't want to get stuttered on my rat catcher. Well, do you like Fallout, Mr. Rental? Or is it just like an IP you don't care about? Like the Doctor Who decks were coming out and stuff, and everyone was like, they're doing such a good job on all this flavor and stuff, and I'm just like, I believe you. Hope you have fun and everything. And then I just immediately felt the same thing when they started spoiling Fallout cards. I was like, oh my god, these are actually Great designs. Played some of the games and they're fun, but you're not a fan. Not like a big fan. I just wish the one thing that I have not liked about Universes Beyond, and this is just a thing about Wizards in general, and I went over this in, I did a video reacting to their big spoiler announcement back in like August or whenever. I just wish that Wizards would stop telling us about the things that are literally 2 and 3 years away. Like, I don't mind that there's Marvel Universes Beyond cards. I'm like, all right, cool. The Marvel fans can get their own cards. That's cool. That's fun for them and everything. That's awesome. But it's 2 years away. Please just let Lost Caverns of Ixalan have its spoiler season, rather than tell us about the set coming 2 years from now. That's been my opinion about basically every cool kind of reveal. The cut-in's better here. It's just been like with video games and stuff as well, I just wish things would get revealed closer to release date. I hate it when we reveal things 2, 3, sometimes with video games they get revealed like 5, 6 years before they come out. Like, speaking of the Elder Scrolls 6, they announced the Elder Scrolls 6 before they even started working on it. It's like, yeah, we know you're gonna make the Elder Scrolls 6. Don't actually announce it and give us a trailer unless you're actually currently working on it. They just started working on it now that they finished Starfield. They just announced a JPEG, a GIF of the Elder Scrolls 6 like 2 or 3 years ago. It's like, why? Everyone knows you're gonna make the game because it's gonna make money, so just wait until you have something actually to show us. Because if you give everybody a trailer and the game still doesn't come out for like 5 to 6 years, people are just gonna get, like, they're just gonna forget about it. Can't wait that long, that's insane. Don't think there's a lot. There's like one rare board wipe in this set, and they don't even have enough creatures engraved for it, so I'm just gonna jam down the Grabby Giant. Alright, well, this was just a rough game for our opponent. They kind of just drew not a lot, really. Yeah, they're already done on board. Yeah, there's a double white natural board clear. The one I was talking about here, the one that's in black, is double black and 3. You exile X creatures engrave and give everything -X/-X. So they got a -1/-1 to all these, but it wouldn't kill the Grabby Giant. So slam down the Grabby Giant. Alright, 2 and 1. Obviously not perfect. We would prefer to get the big 3-win prize. But round 2 was just a rough one. That'll happen. And still a good enough record, good enough win rate, that if we maintained that pace, like during an Arena Open Day 2, we could make it to Day 2, Draft 2. That's where I like to be. Not a bad way to start.